My dear students, I hope you are fine with all of your family members as well as neighbors. By the grace of Almighty Allah, I'm fine too. Today, I've come here with a new online class for the students of class 8. Actually, today I'm going to take a second paper class for the students of class 8, and the topic about which I will start today is very important for you. Okay? But before starting the class, I want to say you that already have completed class test 2, class test 1, sorry. But now you have to take preparation for class test 2. So don't waste your time, just study hard. Let us start. So welcome to my new online class with the gift of flower. You know, I am Wasia Shaoun sir, the assistant teacher of Naranganj High School and College. Before starting the class, at first I want to give you some clue, and you have to find out what is the topic about will I discuss. Okay, so have a look. Listen to me very carefully. Actually, you have to just look on the computer screen, not at me, okay? Because this is a grammar class and you have to be very attentive in your lesson. Okay, now have the clue. So in our grammar, there will be direct speech. Number 2, there will be indirect speech. Number 3, there will be reporting verb, and there will be reported speech. Now, if I make a question that which grammar do I want to start, I think it is very easy for you to say the answer. So what will be the answer? Yes. If your answer is right, we are going to start the grammar about narration. That means the Bengali meaning of narration is ukti. Thank you very much for your right answer. At first, I want to say you that actually there are two types of narration. Okay, they are sentence narration and passage narration. But if you want to solve passage narration, at first you have to start sentence narration. So today we will discuss about the rules of sentence narration. So have a look. Actually, at first you have to know what is narration, because I think you should get a clear idea about narration. Because if you know the narration, then it will be very easy for you to solve it. Okay, so if I ask you what is narration, so what will be the answer? Actually, the answer is every speech of a speaker is called narration. Okay, I'm saying again, every speech of a speaker is called narration. For example, I am a speaker and you are the listener. I'm speaking and you are just listening. So every voice, every tunes, every sound or every speech of me is called narration. Understand? I think now it is clear for you. Then actually there are two types of speech. In a narration you will get two types of speech. Number 1 is direct speech and number 2 is indirect speech. Okay, that means narration, direct speech and indirect speech are the two parts of narration. Okay, then you should know what is direct speech. Actually, when a speaker narrates anything by his or her own language, it is called direct speech. Okay, for example, Rohim said to Karim, "You are busy." Okay, I'm saying again, when a speaker narrates anything by his or her own language is called narration. Okay, for example, in this class, I am taking the class. Okay, and I am just describing my thing or my idea by my own language. So I'm just creating direct narration. Okay, that means every speech of me is the topic or is the sound of me. So, and I am the creating the sound. So it is my speech. So it is direct narration. Okay, look at the example. Here, Rohim said to Karim, "You are busy." That means Rohim just informed Karim that he is busy, or he was busy. Okay, now it is the time to know indirect narration or indirect speech. When other person narrates someone's speech by his or her own language, it is called indirect speech. I want to make it clear. Okay, how? Just listen to me. For example, I am saying you that I will go to Dhaka tomorrow. Okay, but you told to your father that Shaun sir said that he will go to Dhaka tomorrow. Okay, I told that I will go to Dhaka tomorrow. That means I just gave the idea of according to my speech, according to my own idea, and you shared my speech with your father and by your own language. That means you shared that Shaun sir will go to Dhaka tomorrow. That is same thing. Okay, you shared my speech by your own language. That means if other person share someone's speech by his or her own language, is called indirect speech. Okay, thank you very much for your better understanding. Now actually there are two parts of narration. Okay, the first two are the kinds, but now we will know the first two parts of the narration. Actually number one is reporting verb and number two is reported speech. Actually report means tule dhara. The Bengali meaning of report is tule dhara. Number one is reporting verb. Number one is verb and number two is speech. Now look at the board. What do you mean by reporting verb? Actually, in a reporting verb, a person says something to others. Okay, in a reporting verb, a person says something to others. That means a person just informs to others about a statement. Okay, and you know that the first part before comma is called reporting verb in a narration. Okay, and what is reported speech? Something is described. Okay, in a reporting verb, a person wants to inform anything or something to others, and in reported speech something is described. That means the person what wants to describe is just placed in reported speech. Okay, then actually the structure of this narration is, that means this is the structure. We know that there are two parts of narration. The first part, look at the screen. Here is subject, verb and object, then comma. That means the first sentence or the first structure before comma is called reporting verb, and the second structure, that means inside the subject, inside the inverted comma, subject verb object inside the reported comma is called reported speech. Look at the screen. That means the first part before comma is called reporting verb and the second part inside the inverted comma is called reported speech. Okay, now actually if you want to solve narration, you should know three things. Okay, you should know three things very clearly. Number one, changing of person. Number two, changing of tense. And number three, changing of verb. We will solve one by one today. Okay, let us start. Number one, changing of person. Okay, we know that there are first three types of person: first person, second person and third person. Actually I just written the structure of narration. Here is subject, verb, object, comma and subject verb object inside the inverted comma. Okay, and we know that the first part before comma is called reporting verb, and the second part inside the inverted comma is called reported speech. Okay, now we will learn the change of person. Actually, the first person I and we of reported speech will be the subject of reporting verb. It's very important. Okay, I'm saying again, the first person I and we, the first person I and we of the reported speech will be the subject of reporting verb. Okay, it's very easy. Next, the second person you of reported speech will be the object of reporting verb. I'm saying again, the second person you of reported speech will be the object of reporting verb. Okay, and the third person will not be changed. That means the third person, there will be no change in third person. Okay, that means already completed the changing of person. Now we will start the changing of tense. Okay, we know that there are three types of tense. First, present tense, past tense and future tense. Okay, now rule number 1, that means if you find that the reporting verb is in present tense or in future tense, then there will be no change of the reported speech. That means there will be no change of the tense of reported speech. Look at the structure. Okay, if you see that the reporting verb is in present tense or future tense, then when you will change it into indirect, then there will be no change of the tense. Okay, you have to change only the person. Okay, now rule number 2, if you find that the reporting verb is in past tense, that means subject plus verb 2 plus object, then if you want to change it into direct to indirect, then there will be no change of the tense of reported speech. Okay, no, it is not right. Now this time you have to change the tense too. Okay, that means if you find that there is past tense in reporting verb, then you have to make past tense in reported speech too at the time of changing. Look at the next structure. Here is subject plus verb 2 plus object, then subject plus verb 2 plus object. Okay, then you have to again change the person too. Now rule number 3, if you find that the reporting verb is in past tense and reported speech is also in past tense, then you have to make it past perfect tense at the time of changing. Okay, look at the structure. Here is subject plus verb 2 plus object. Then if you find the past tense again, then you have to change it into past perfect. That means structure of past perfect is subject plus had plus verb 3 plus object. Okay, and you have to also change the person too. Okay, next rule number 4, if you find that the reporting verb is in past tense and reported speech is in past continuous tense, then the structure will be, that means if you find that the first part is past tense and the second part is past continuous tense, then you have to make it past perfect continuous. Okay, and the structure will be subject plus had been plus verb plus ing plus object. When you will just change it into direct to indirect. Is it clear? Okay, thank you very much. Now you have to change the person too. Okay, now this time we will start changing the verb. Already have completed changing person, changing tense, and now the third item, changing verb. Okay, so have a look. Actually, sorry for my computer virus. Actually, in assertive sentence, we have to use tell for the present tense and told for the past tense. Okay, instead of say and said, and we have to use that. We have to use that instead of inverted comma, and the next part will be subject plus verb plus object. I think you should watch very seriously. Look at again. According to the assertive sentence, you have to use tell or told instead of say or said, or instead of comma. Okay, then you have to use that instead of inverted comma, and the next part of the sentence will be subject plus verb plus object in or for assertive sentence. Okay, for example, here is Rohim said to me, I want to drink water. So here is said to, that means there is object and it is past tense. So you have to choose told. Okay, so Rohim told me that. That means I have used just that instead of inverted comma. Then he wanted to drink water. Sometimes ago I told you that the first person I and we of reporting verb, reported speech will be the first person of reporting verb. Here I indicate Rohim, so I have used the pronoun of Rohim, he. Okay, so he wanted to drink water. Then in interrogative sentence we have to use ask or asked. Ask for present tense and asked for past tense. We have to use ask or asked instead of say or said. Okay, and we have to use if or WH question instead of inverted comma. We know that we can start interrogative sentence by two ways, using auxiliary and using WH question, and the next structure will be subject plus verb to plus object. Okay, that means, for example, I want to give an example to make it clear. That means Rohim said to me, do you eat rice? I have used just auxiliary verb. So Rohim asked me, as it is the past tense, so I have used asked. Rohim asked me if. That means I told you that if you find that the sentence starts with if, then you have sentence starts with auxiliary verb, then you have to use if. And if the sentence starts with WH question, then you have to use WH question, and the next part will be subject plus verb to plus object. Here is the example. Okay, that means Rohim asked me if, then I ate rice. This you will be the object, that means me. Okay, and I have used I instead of me. I ate rice. Okay, then for imperative sentence it is very important. Okay, so what do you mean by imperative sentence? The sentence where we can get order, we can get advice, we can be prayed, we can be wished. Means this is called sequence. Okay, it may be order, it may be request, or it may be bless, it may be wished, it may be prayed according to the verb. That means, so I have written just sequence. That means, for example, I told you that give me a water or a glass of water. Okay, that means I am giving you the order. So here is sequence. That means you have to use sequence instead of say or said. That means for order, for that means adesh. Okay, you have to use order. Onurod, you have to use request. Ichha, you have to use wish. Prarthana, you have to use prayed. Just this like this. Okay, and we have to use for affirmative to instead of inverted comma and not to instead of inverted comma if the sentence becomes negative. Okay, and then verb plus object. But if the sentence starts with let, then you have to use subject plus should plus verb 1 plus object. Okay, now look at the example. Rohim said to me, do it. Actually, Rohim ordered me to do it. Okay, so Rohim ordered me to do it. This is affirmative sentence, so I have used to, and then verb 1 plus object, just to, then do is the verb and object is it. Okay, that means when you will find that the sentence just give you order, then you have to take order. The sentence is indicating you request, then you have to take the verb as request. That means this is called sequence. As a result, to make it short, I have just written sequence. Okay, then operative sentence, it is very important. Okay, so actually you have to use wish or prayed, wished or prayed instead of say or said. Okay, and then you have to use that instead of inverted comma. Okay, and the next structure will be subject plus may or might. You can use may for present tense and you can use might for past tense. Okay, that means the structure will be subject plus may or might plus verb 1 plus object. Okay, for example, Rohim said to me, may Allah bless you. So here is indirect. Rohim prayed that. Actually, I will not use object in the case of operative sentence. Okay, so Rohim prayed that Allah, that means I have used subject, then might, as it is past tense I have to use might. Okay, that means there is written might. Then bless, that means this bless is verb 1. Okay, then me is the object. So Rohim prayed that Allah might bless me. Okay, now the last sentence is exclamatory sentence. So for exclamatory sentence, you have to use exclaimed with joy for a very happy news, and you can use exclaimed with sorrow for the sad news, and that instead of inverted comma. Okay, for example, and the next structure will be subject plus verb plus object. It may be present tense, it may be past tense. Okay, whatever. Look at the example. Here is written, Rohim said to me, how nice the bird is. Rohim said to me, how nice the bird is. Okay, then Rohim exclaimed with joy, because how nice the bird is a new, very happy news. Okay, so Rohim exclaimed with joy that, then I have to use subject verb object, that the bird is subject, then the bird was. Okay, the bird was very nice. Here is written is, but actually it is wrong. It here will be the bird was very nice. Why was? Because Rohim exclaimed with joy. It is past tense. Okay, this is typing mistake though. So the answer will be Rohim exclaimed with joy that the bird was very nice. Okay, that means if you see that the first part is past tense, then you have to use the second part also in past tense. Okay, so actually we have completed the basic rules of sentence narration, and in my next class I will try to come with the taking the sentence of, or taking the narration of past narration. Okay, so not more today. Thank you very much again with a gift of flower, and soon I am coming here with a new online class about narration, about passage narration for you, and I will urge you that don't waste your time, just study hard. Thank you.